So we've got to talk about Tesla Cybertruck and this strange occurrence by one of the Tesla cult members. This guy crashed his Cybertruck, and you can actually see it here. The Tesla hit a pole. Looks like to be the right side of the truck, and it's frankly probably totaled, would be my guess. These things are really expensive to repair if you don't know. What's interesting about this particular crash is the driver, apparently, the cult member, is praising Elon. So I wanted to dig into this, like what is going on, what are people saying, and I want to get your thoughts about this stuff because oftentimes I feel like I'm gaslit when I see these things, thinking like, okay, what is reality anymore? So this is a guy. His name is Jonathan, and he says, "So my Tesla Cybertruck crashed into a curb and then a light post on 13.2.4." And that's referring to the Tesla software. They update every now and then. So I guess we're on version 13. So it hit a curve and then a light post. He says, "Thank you, Tesla, for engineering the best passive safety in the world. I walked away without a scratch." So he's happy, I guess, because he's able to walk away. The thing is, like, my first reaction to this is like, maybe you shouldn't crash in the first place if you're driving a different car. And then I guess I can see a tennis racket there. It's kind of interesting, Wilson. He says, "It failed to merge out of a lane that was ending. There was no one on my left and made no attempt to slow down or turn until it had already hit the curb." So if you understand what he's saying here, first he's like, okay, I'm on the robot driving thing, version 13. Thank you, Tesla, for best safety. And then he's like, it failed. So I'm thinking what the way this is worded is that the Tesla crashed and he's thanking Elon. What? That's why it's so stupid. Now he says here, "Big fail on my part, obviously. Don't make the same mistake I did. Pay attention. It can happen. I follow Tesla and FSD pretty closely and haven't heard of any accident on version 13 at all before this happened. It is easy to get complacent now. Don't." And if you guys don't understand that the big problem with these Tesla full self-driving things, okay, is one, it's actually not full self-driving. You're supposed to keep your hand near the wheel. Although a lot of people get sort of, as he used the word, complacency, because Elon has promised you all along that the robot driving tech is awesome, that it works, etc. In this situation, clearly it didn't. It hit a curve, then hit the pole, almost killed the guy, but then now he's thanking Elon. Do you guys understand the irony of this? And it's funny because I was thinking about how this is similar to, say, the MAGA people, where like, own the libs, and then like lose my farm. You can, hey, as long as you own the libs, you can lose everything else. And it's kind of the same as this. Is like, I'm gonna give all my money to Elon, almost get killed, and then thank him. It's so weird. But that's why I always call this a cult. And so what happens is a lot of times with these people, they trust in Elon's tech, and they just essentially let the robot drive, and you can see that happens. You get in a crash. He also says here, this is that Jonathan dude. He says, "How do I make sure you have the data you need from this incident? Service center, etc., has been less than responsive on this." so, so again, he's thanking Elon, but then he's like admitting here that your service center isn't very good over at Tesla. And this is a fan. This is a fan of Tesla. That's why this stuff is so stupid. Tesla, how do I make sure the data you need from this incident? So here's the other problem with this, guys. Is this guy is basically the Jonathan guy. He's basically admitting that he is part of the beta test of these Teslas, of this robot driving. And you guys understand the problem with this stuff, again, is like Elon Musk has these cars that are, misnamed. It's a misnomer. It's called full self-driving, but it doesn't quite work on its own. You're supposed to pay attention to the thing. The guy crashes, almost dies. Now he's saying, how can I help you in your beta test by sending you the data? And that's what Elon thinks about all everyone. He treats you as ants or guinea pigs. He wants you to use these cars out in the wild before they're ready. And this is also one of the reasons, and many reasons, but one of the reasons why he partnered with Trump is he basically bought the presidency and then get Trump to have it so the government won't request crash data from Tesla. So like these kind of things that I think people should know. That's why I'm going over it with you. Like the cognitive disconnect or dissonance that these people have from what really happened. And I'm just reading his words. It's so ridiculous. That's why I call this thing a cult. The guy also says, I do have the dash cam footage. I want to get it out there as a PSA that it can happen even on version 13. So now he's kind of suggesting that, your tech's not that far along, you can get in crashes, right? So it's from his own words. But I'm hesitant because I don't want the attention and I don't want to give the bears/haters any material. Well, it's too late, man. It's out there. We've all seen it and you're making a fool of yourself. But that's why it's fun to watch it, to read this stuff. Spread my message and help others from the same fate or far worse. And then he tweets a whole bunch of these are all like Tesla driver people. Now, one thing you got to be aware with this whole Tesla thing, if you guys don't know, you haven't followed the story, is Tesla engineers tend to spend more time on the vehicles of the sort of people you see on YouTube. So what I mean by that, and this is actually was reported from the Inside Tesla, some insiders are saying, okay, if there's like a popular YouTuber or Elon Musk, the engineers may, map that area really, really well, geofence it, put sort of tracks on the thing. Just make sure the user experience on YouTube that you see may be different than what actually is real life. The other problem with these kind of people, the Tesla situation, is if you don't follow this, these cars don't have sensors in it like LiDAR, like other cars do in the robot driving. And the reason why is because they're cutting costs. Elon wants to figure out a way to do this cheaper, which I understand. You want to maintain your margins, but you're putting people's lives in danger, as you can see here. But I guess if you got enough cult members that will give you money and then thank you for having technology that doesn't work and almost dying, it's so crazy. On top of that, and I also want to be fair to the guy where he was, because it was a kind of a strange road, to be fair. This was someone looked into it. This person's name, Tro Test-like, and he figured out kind of where it was. So I guess there's these arrows here. So like this was the whole mergey thing, and the arrows sort of tell you to move to the, I guess that would be to the left. The reason why is there's like a pole sticking out in the middle of the road. If you guys can see that, that's sort of right here. So it's kind of a strange design for a road. But these are just one of many things that can be out there in the real world, and one of the big problems that Tesla has. And Elon, if like I'm just telling you, if you want to do this safely, like theoretically, you really want your robot cars to work, you'd put essentially radar/lidar into these cars, sensors, right? You would also get like a license for high resolution maps to make sure like everything's mapped up really well. But these things cost money. Like say you did a partnership with Google Maps, for example, that stuff costs money. Plus on top of the adding the additional sensors, etc. So this is sort of why I always say the Tesla stuff isn't going to work. Now Elon, he claims, and again I'm just showing you sort of the lay of the land, because a human driver would pick up on this stuff, right? And then the other issue is at night, and actually I want to show you this. This is Elon. This is the stuff he tweets out. Just want you to know the CEO that you're all praising. This is what he's tweeting out right now. You can see it's a Netflix thing, and I don't even know if this is a real Netflix thing. But yeah, the white powder, but I don't know what's dark powder in this situation. He tweets out rocket stuff. This is just all today. He tweets out that he's going to save us from bureaucracy. And in Elon's point of view, bureaucracy, he hates it, because he sees bureaucracy as like the government, regulators wanting to take his cars off the road because they're unsafe. So he gets really mad. And that's another reason why you bite the presidency, is just get rid of any sort of regulations. Or he tweets about, make Europe great again and get involved in European politics. It's so crazy, this stuff. That's why I'm showing you guys like kind of all these things. And then you have, this guy almost dies and like loves Elon. And then, if you go on his platform, you're going to have all these Tesla, fanboys and fangirl cult members. We'll see what they say. So this is Herbert. He's one of the cult members. He says, "Glad to hear you're okay. This is a reminder for all of us to stay vigilant, even when FSD Tesla's safety features are amazing. And I'm sure they would appreciate the footage to improve the system." It's like, okay, thank you for being a beta tester, and be careful out there. Another person says, "Another death trap off the road. Keep them coming." Okay, so that would be a more person who doesn't like Tesla. What this one says: "After scrolling and scrolling, I still don't see a single response to how to make sure Tesla knows about this accident. I myself had an accident with FSD." I haven't read these yet. So this guy even had an accident. This is, do you guys see the ridiculously of this Tesla stuff? So all these people are like, "Oh yeah, I had an accident too. That's just Tesla." That's how it is. Oh, hail Elon, right? Or I should say, hail Elon, right? Myself, I had an accident with FSD and a community gate. It didn't See and give me a reaction time to act. It stopped before reaccelerating and hitting. Again, guys, his technology doesn't work. Jonathan says, oh, I know, it's frustrating. Alexandra, so she's the one actually, she's another Tesla stock promoter. She promotes Elon's pay package. Oh, you got to pay Elon all this money for this technology that doesn't work. He's so awesome. Love the way you framed your post. Thank you. And another person says, I just don't believe you. Based on my own experience, I just don't believe you unless you have footage both from the cab and the dash cams. Actually, we'll see what he says. Oh, Jonathan says, I don't care what you believe. That's what Jonathan says. Another person says, David, this person says, that really stinks, and I know personally how you must feel. But your willingness to share this lesson learned is invaluable for safety and betterment of all Tesla users. Again, thank you for being a beta tester. Thank you for putting the long-term good of the community ahead of personal embarrassment. And this person says, yes, it's against my every instinct that I post this. Who are these people? So ridiculous. This person says, I see a lot, and I mean a lot, of issues. First of all, it's dark, right? So the cameras don't work that well at night. That's Teslas don't work that great at night. Because, again, you need sensors, guys. You need sensors. But Tesla's too cheap to put them in. People don't like driving in the dark or in the evening because that's when all the drunks and weirdos come out, or the Tesla drivers, you could say. Secondly, it looks like it was raining out. Lastly, that is not a parking spot, and it is likely. Ha, 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 ha. I like Tesla, but this kind of inexcusable, as the system should recognize the curb and light post and react accordingly. 100% inexcusable for both them and me. So these are the kind of things that people are saying. I want to hear your thoughts. What do you think about this accident? What do you think about the cult member who still praises Elon? Even though we read through the whole description, he's disappointed with the service of Tesla, how to report the stuff. I guess all these people are congratulating him for being a beta tester. And we make jokes about this stuff, guys. But just imagine if someone got killed. Not funny, right? Honestly, it's not funny. Or if he really would have damaged, city property, and now all the taxpayers have to pay for the repairs for the stupid idiot who's driving around in a stupid, you want to call it a swastika or a wanker Panzer, whatever you want to call this thing. But that's what we have to deal with Elon Musk and the Tesla cult. Please share your thoughts on this one, and I'll catch you in the next video.